Before this video start, I just want to say that this video is mostly aimed at Nigerians. So if you are not a Nigerian, feel free to click off this video, as I will not be held responsible if you don't understand anything in this video. I'm sure as a Nigerian, you should have at least heard or seen the Nintendo Switch at least more than once, if you haven't relocated from the bush you are living in. The console was released in 2017, which makes me like 6 to 7 years late in making this video. But you know what? On YouTube, a video is never too late. Jackie Chan said so. In Nigeria, you can't argue that the most popular way of gaming is either on PlayStation or PC, because it's easy to hack and download more games on both systems. In Nigeria, nobody pays $60 for one game. 46,000 naira for one game. Wow, not in my country. Like I was saying, most popular way of gaming is either on PlayStation or PC. No one cares about trash consoles like Xbox. I'm not really sure Nintendo is that popular in Nigeria, because I don't see a lot of people talk about it at all. And Nintendo Switch owners are rare in Nigeria, but it's still not as useless as Xbox. Now, this video is mostly aimed at Nigerians who are interested in getting a Switch. I'll be telling you all about my experiences when playing on Switch, so you can decide if you are making the right choice in getting a Switch. Now, first thing I want to say is that Switch isn't cheap. There are 3 different models and their prices varies depending on where you're buying them from. You can see Switch Lite around 80 to 170k, normal Switch from 160 to 300k, and the Switch OLED from 235 to 350k, I think. To make matters worse, their games are stupidly expensive. Most of the Switch games are graphically downgraded when compared to other consoles, and a lot of Switch games even struggle to run at a stable 30 FPS. PS4 is like 5 times better than the Switch, and you at least expect Switch games to be cheaper than it. But no, it's the other way around. Nintendo eShop doesn't work in Nigeria, which means you can't buy and download games online. You have to order expensive digital games from Jumia, and most times they may not have the games you want. To summarize everything, you will hate the Nintendo Switch a lot if it's not hacked. Even I myself, I bought a non-modded Switch but ended up selling it because the console was too expensive to enjoy. I later got a hacked Switch and I've been enjoying it ever since. The Switch is even bigger than what I expected, because seeing the Switch in YouTube videos make it look small. Here's the Switch compared to a button phone. Here's the Switch compared to my Samsung S20. Here's the Switch compared to my iPad. I've been playing on the Switch for just 2 weeks and I honestly love playing on it even more than my PS4 or PC. If anyone asks me whether it's okay to get a Switch instead of a PS4, I would say yes, but only hack Switches before you will regret. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying Switch is better than PS4. In fact, PS3 crushes this console anytime, any day in terms of pure gaming. But there's just something about being able to play console games portably. You don't need TV, you don't need wireless powers, you don't even need to connect to light before you game. In fact, you can play anytime, anywhere. It's just one thing that Switch has that other console doesn't. And if you're a mobile gamer, trust me, you will love the console even more. My Switch is modded, so I can download and play any Switch game I want, but still it's not perfect. This Switch is the old model, as for now only old models are easily hackable. So you can guess the battery life isn't that strong anymore. I get up to 2 hours maximum when gaming, but thank God the Switch supports Type-C to charge. I can easily charge it with my power bank. I don't know why, but any console that doesn't have God of War is trash to me. The Switch has a lot of games, but not the PlayStation games I'm used to, e.g. God of War, Spider-Man, etc. But it has its own exclusive games like Legend of Zelda, and I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan, so I see this as a win-win. Xbox has none. With all that said, I think I've covered all my experiences with the Switch. It's a good console, but as a Nigerian, you can only enjoy it if it's hacked, because if you get a brand new Switch, you will definitely hate it. Unless you have feature rich to the extent you can spend 40k for every game you play. Remember that PS4 is actually cheaper than the Switch, so it all comes down to if you just want a portable handheld console you can play on the go. And if you love Legend of Zelda games like me, if not, I would recommend the PS4.